Hello everybody, we are here with a general reading. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm seeing somebody come through and send you a message. Looks like there's something specific that they want to talk to you about. Starting off with the Ten of Pentacles. Looks like you're in a pretty steady spot here. Being in the Ten of Pentacles can be like an ideal space where you feel like there's a sense of stability in your life that feels important to you. There's a sense of security within your life. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily exactly where you want to be. For some of you, you can be feeling like that. For others of you, it's in a space where you're not in any sort of like desperation for the most part. Like Ten of Pentacles is like, I feel secure. I feel like things are going to be all right. I feel like there's a sense of stability. I feel grounded, things like that. Like not really worrying about things resource-wise for the most part. And Four of Swords can be like a relaxation of the mind. So you may have accrued something and now you get to relax for a bit. This can also mean like you got to a goal and you achieved something as well, and now you get to like chill for a minute. Definitely feels like an accomplishment of some sort, or you got to some point that you were working to get to. You have arrived. Something affecting you emotionally. It looks like in some areas of your life, everything is cool, like even ideal, but something's going on emotionally that is the opposite of that. Disappointment, something didn't go the way that you wanted it to. I'm hearing this is a relationship matter. This can definitely feel like overwhelmed or overburdened by a sense of grief about something. Definitely. Because just the Five of Cups alone is a very heavy feeling of like feeling alone, feeling like things didn't go how you wanted them to. You thought it would be one way. It was not how you thought. Like feeling surprised because something didn't align with your expectations, went in a way you didn't want it to go. And on top of that, to have the Ten of Wands here, this is like feeling an overwhelming sense of that. So it's kind of like this heightened sense of grief, disappointment, sadness, longing. I'm also hearing. I'm hearing how could things turn out this way. So really feels like something that you had not anticipated. It can feel like hard to manage right now emotionally. Maybe also because there's a decision attached to it. I'm seeing you have to make a choice here. I'm seeing you be like, I'm going through something right now emotionally, and it's hard for me to even deal with this. And now on top of it, there's something that I have to do. Like some sort of mental exercise that's being asked of you where you have to make a choice. But it would feel like difficult timing, like you're not mentally in the right place to be doing this, you would feel. Looks like a decision that involves another person. Oh wow, it's whether or not you're going to stay. This is, do I stay or do I go? What do I do? So your like happiness, your pursuit of happiness is coming into question here. I was seeing this before. We have the Strength card. It's This represents Leo in the major arcana. This is not going to be an easy decision. Having the Strength card come out after this is like making up your mind about whether or not you want to stay within a situation where you don't feel like you're going to find what you need and that you're going to need to go elsewhere. But if you decide to go elsewhere, this is something where you're really going to have to tap into your strength and your willpower. This will not be an easy move for you to make. You may feel at the bottom of it like this is the right thing to do for you, but there are going to be reasons that will hold you back if you allow them to. It's one of those moments where if you could disengage and see this situation objectively, you'd be like, oh, no question, I need to leave this situation. But this is going to be a challenge for you because it's not objective. You're in the middle of this. And so there will be things that will hold you back from doing this. But if you're determined to do this, you're going to be able to. But know that this will be a challenge for you. As I said before, like, if this was not your situation, if this were like somebody else's situation that you didn't know and you saw them in your spot, you'd be like, of course they should leave this situation. So it's very clear on that plane, okay? But because you're in the middle of this, it may not feel so clear cut as the one experiencing this, okay? Could be because this would mean you leaving a home, there being a disconnection from resources that you feel comfortable within, things that you shared or built with the other person. Again, anything connected with resources or things physically within the 3D. Like you could share resources with the person, you could be getting money from them, they could support you. It was the King of Pentacles before, they could support you financially. It's something that's definitely going to take some time. This could also mean, too, that there's more pressure on you financially or when it comes to you providing for yourself, too. It can be one of those situations where, say you live with somebody and say they're the one that provides for you, and you're like, emotionally, I'm like constantly disappointed. This is not fulfilling for me emotionally, but we have this house together, or like they pay my car payment, or they somehow finance my life, something like that. So definitely, and it doesn't just have to be like that. It can be like, well, we built this beautiful home together, or we built a family together, or we did this, because 10 of Pentacles is like something that's been built up. But it's something within the 3D, so in certain ways it's like somewhat superficial. It's something that you're not going to be able to take with you when you leave here. It's something worldly with the Pentacles. So there's something worldly that you have with this person that you've worked for and built together with them. But on the emotional front, you're disconnected from this situation. You don't really feel like there's anything for you here. That's not to say there's absolutely nothing, but you're like 10% engaged. Like 90% of this water energy within you that you're feeling is like elsewhere, like checked out already. But I'm still seeing a decision that hasn't been made yet. So I'm seeing you also acknowledge that this would be difficult to leave. You know that you would really need to be strong to make this choice. Strong, brave. Willing. I'm seeing you like working your courage up here. You may come to this conclusion but not make a move immediately. I'm seeing you wait. There's a part of you that may be struggling with this, definitely, because of your involvement and how subjectively you're connected with it. Because there can be a part of you that's like, if I could just land into another cushy situation where I wouldn't have to worry about logistics, then I would leave right now. But because this would take you setting things up, that may be part of the reason why you feel discouraged from actually doing this. It would be hard to do, but it's possible. Something here about putting in the effort to manifest and build something that feels more dynamic with you and another person. This would be like reciprocity. This would be you feeling like your expectations are met through communication, through working things out, and somebody's actually going to show up for you. And you feel like a teammate with that person, like a partner. It seems like things at one point in time could have felt like that with this person, but they don't any longer, but they can, something can be restored. This is a restoration, because this is like a new manifestation, a new goal, but I have to wait for this. I have to set things up. This is like I plant the seeds in the garden before I can pick the fruit. So this is you planting the seeds of something that you're trying to manifest. It's reciprocity with somebody that you know, somebody that you have history with. And this is like wanting things to be like they were in the past too. This is a nostalgic vibe here. So this is wanting to like recreate a situation with someone that you've had a situation with and wanting things to go back. You may still be sorting out your feelings around this person. There's conflict with them. Or something is conflicting with this trying to go back that you're wanting to do. There could have been also like an unexpected argument with someone too. It seems like trying to do something and for some reason there's like resistance or it's not working. And it has to do with your dynamic with this person. Wow. There's a moment where you're going to realize that there's been like conflict innately in the foundation of your connection with this person. There's like some problem here that maybe you hadn't recognized before. It's interesting because I'm seeing you actually seeing things quite clearly right now, but it may be vision that's like more sharp than you want it to be. And I'm seeing you get to a point where you're like, the only solution is for me to put my energy elsewhere. This is also about creating stability for yourself within your life, physically, independently, being able to create stability for yourself within your life. This is you pulling back from something, taking a break, and going back to the drawing board about what you're trying to create in your life. There's disappointment because something did not work out the way that you wanted it to. This is definitely within a relationship of you being like, I've tried every single way to get things to be balanced between myself and this person. This is a recognition of we're not compatible. Our values are not compatible. But this can feel very stressful because of the history that you have with this person. You know that your values are not compatible with this person, meaning like your needs and your desires, they're very different. But not different in a compatible way. This is not compatible. When you thought that it had been. Like, that's also part of this too. This is like, I thought that there was compatibility. I'm realizing that there's not. And now this puts more stress because we're tied to one another. We have history with one another. What do I do with all of those years that I've spent with you, or all of that time? A decision that needs to be made. As I said before, if you were not the one in this situation, and there were like a distant friend that were going through this, you'd be like, of course you should walk away from this situation. You know you're not getting what you need here. Like, it's time to go. If you could see yourself objectively from this situation, you'd be telling yourself, come on, like, get it together. You know you're not going to find what you want here. And that is being illuminated to you. You're like, it's so obvious. But again, this part of you that's going through this situation right now is like, I feel conflicted because I know what's the right thing for me to do within this situation. But there's part of me that doesn't want to do it. This knows that you already know what the right answer is for you, but you don't want to follow through on it. Which is also okay too. You get to make the choice. But it's going to be hard because you're making this acknowledgement, like now that you're accepting the truth, you know you're not emotionally going to find what you need within this situation. You can still stay if you want to, but you know you're not going to find what you need. You know that's elsewhere, and that's what has made this so obvious to you. If you want to feel fulfilled, which that's what this card is about, finding fulfillment, you know you're going to have to step out and put your energy elsewhere if you want to be emotionally fulfilled. Now, the thing is that we come back to this space of, now that you know the truth and there's been a recognition of it, you can stay in this situation and feel unsatisfied. But if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. There's no shame in that. It's all just your choice. There's no right or wrong. It's just what you want to do. So if you get to a point where you're like, my fulfillment is more important, then you're going to walk away from this situation. Until you get to that point where you're prioritizing your emotional fulfillment and your needs emotionally and what's going on internally for you and you're showing up, that's when you're going to make the move. But either way, it's a hard, difficult situation. I'm just seeing Leo here and the Sun. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.